Hello again, everybody. I'm back with yet another video for my arcade game series. And this one, I'm testing a little bit of different setup here. Hopefully this will be better than the one-handed thing that I had going on, which basically meant that when I went to show gameplay, it was awful. Now, it's going to be even more embarrassing for me if I show gameplay now with two hands and it's still awful. But anyway, the game that I'm going to show today is Galaga. This is from 1981. This is the first game I've showed on here that's actually predated me by a year. And but yeah, this is one of those games that it's really fun. It's addicting. I personally, I think that I first played this on Nintendo. My parents purchased that pretty early into us having a Nintendo because they had both played the arcade game, and when it was just released and popular and so on, and I obviously was too young, But I played it first on NES and I absolutely loved it. I think it was so addicting, simple. I mean, this is one of the earlier games, so it's going to be a lot more simple compared to some of the other games I've shown or later arcade games. Made by Midway, by the way, which did go on, of course, to have a resurgence in popularity in the early '90s and mid '90s with NBA Jam and Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. But anyway, so like I said, played it on Nintendo, loved it there, and then I finally got a chance to play the arcade, but I can't remember the first time I played it in the arcade. I'm kind of drawing a blank on that. I want to say it was like, I don't know, early 90s maybe, I don't know. But one thing I noted when I played it on arcade that I thought was quite interesting was the fact that it was basically the same game. NES didn't always have the ability to port games, from arcade to them with great success. They did okay sometimes, depending on how complicated and technical the specifications of the game board were. In the arcade, the Nintendo could duplicate it, or they could just nod and it just be, sometimes passable at best. But NES did a great job of porting the Galaga, because when I played this the first time on the arcade, I was like, wow, this is just basically exactly like, what I was used to. Which I wasn't, I don't think I expected that. I expected the arcade to be quite a bit more advanced than the NES, but it wasn't. But yeah, anyway, so I, like I said, loved this on arcade. I loved it on NES. It's one of the games I play the most on my machine, if I'm being honest, because it's just addicting. That's the only thing I know to say about it. It's fun. It's addicting. And it's funny because Galaga is one of those games where there's no game out there that I'm going to go and, get the high score of the world on kind of thing. No King of Kong situations with me or anything like that. But Galaga is one of those games where sometimes I can start this up and I swear I feel like I'm some sort of world champion, just absolutely killing it on this with no losses, moving up through the levels with ease. And then I swear there's other times, I don't know if it's just a timing thing or what happens, but there's sometimes I play this thing and I feel like I'm back to being 5 or 6 years old the first time I played on NES. Just absolutely horrible. But anyway, I'm gonna play it now, and then after I lose my ships, I'll continue saying a few more words about it. But I want to go ahead and get the gameplay in here in the middle. Usually I save it for the end, but I'm thinking, well, I've got two hands now, so maybe I can play more than 10 seconds without getting killed. So let's try it and see what happens. Okay. First level, never too bad. I do enjoy the first level because you can pretty much kill things without having to worry about taking on too much fire, which is a big thing that goes as the game goes on. That changes. Like right now, I've already got 3 bullets or whatever they are, missiles easy for me to say, flying at me. Yes. And by the way, when I'm playing this game, I absolutely detest those. I always thought they looked like houseflies. I don't know what the heck they're supposed to be. But because of the fact that they're the wobble thing they do, and then the challenging stage. I was off kilter on that. I have one time, well, I think maybe more than one time, but one time that I remember, took this challenging stage and killed it. Like, I just absolutely shot every thing. But that usually doesn't happen. Especially when I'm trying to talk and do it. But anyway, but the little house flies or whatever, I can't stand those things. They drive me crazy because they just freaking... They're kamikaze. They just throw themselves at you. Well, they all throw themselves, but those things specifically seem like, and the pattern they do, and the fact that they go down below the screen and then come back up. I hate that. I hate everything about that. Like that right there. Just so many nerves shot over that when I was a kid. Okay. And the thing about the lobsters, as I call them, I know the trick, about letting them take your ship, and then you can, have 2 ships. And sometimes I try that, but I gotta be honest, that's not something I usually do. I usually just try to do it with 1 ship if I can. And then just go from there, Because, I don't know. I mean, I guess in some ways it's good, but then... I just like to shoot. That's too much strategy, dadgummit. But anyway. I have done that before quite a few times, but... I used to do that more on the NES than I do here. I don't know what the difference is really on that. There's no particular reason behind that. I just played it. Oh, there was no way out of that. And that happens on this game. You can be so good, and then there's going to be that situation where you just put yourself in the wrong place at the wrong time, and there's just no way out of it. And that's exactly what happened to me. Alright, let's try this challenging stage. This one I don't like as much, I think, because this here is nearly impossible to shoot all those stupid things. Look at that. Oh wow, I shot 2. That's just horrible. Now these that come down, these are easy. Those suckers that go from side to side, like I can't hit them for nothing. Now let's see here. What do we got? I'm sure it's gonna be missiles right out of the gate. Missiles before you even see the freaking ships, pretty much. I do apologize if the excessive slamming of the controls you find obnoxious. I do apologize. Oh yeah, and this I really love when this thing here decides to turn into the freaking Flash and come down at you. Oh crap! Oh, here it comes. Yeah, that was. Just die already, you stupid moth, butterfly thing, whatever you are. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, whoa. This is... I don't know that this game ends, by the way. I'm sure that's information I could have Googled. But if there is an ending to this game, there may be, I don't know. I feel like there's not, though. I feel like because back then, these games were all played for high scores. So there was no need to give them an ending or whatever because you literally just kept racking the score up, I don't know. Plus, I mean, when this thing was an arcade machine like this, I mean, you put this in there and, I mean, how far can anybody get on 2 quarter and, you know, two, oh, freaking hell. I don't know what I'm trying to say. A quarter and like 3 ships, 2 ships ready to start with. I mean, nobody's going to get too far on that anyway, so I don't think they were too worried about that, you know. So I don't think this game has an ending. Now, I say that, and then I'll Google it later and see that I was completely wrong. So if that's the case, I do apologize. I hate that right there. But, yeah, so, I was saying, so I don't, like I said, I don't think the game has an ending. I could be wrong. It could have a ending, and I just never gotten there. But I feel like my dad told me one time that he got to, like, I don't know, it was just some stupid level, and the thing was still going. And it's like, because, you know, another advantage of NES was there was a beautiful little device called the Game Genie. And I think maybe he tested that one time with the Game Genie just to see if the game had an ending, you know. This is pre-internet days, so. And I feel like that he told me that it didn't, because I actually don't even think he told me. I think because I was there and watched him that evening, and he was like on level 100 or something, and it was still going. And that was the NES, which I would assume that if either one were going to have an ending, it would have been the NES since it came later. And that the arcade, you know, would be less likely to have an ending. But that could, I don't know, could be the opposite for all I know. Maybe they took the ending out of the NES version. But I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about seeing that anytime soon anyway. Even if there is an ending. I'll probably never see it, so what difference does it matter to me, I guess. And there was a second version of this game too. Well, this game was in a series of games, Galaxian and so on. Oh man, that one came out of nowhere. It's like an RKO there. But which I don't really care much for that. It's okay, but I'm more Galaga. But there's another one of these. It's called Galaga 88. And it's fun. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, to be honest. Not a big difference in them. A little bit more updated is all. Ah, you two little buggers. Two, I missed. But I still just prefer this one. I just think this one is just better game. So this video is going to go long, I think. I honestly did not expect to be going this far into the gameplay. I was sitting here thinking, oh yeah, you're going to fire this up and you're going to get killed on level 6. And then you can blab some more about the game. But not quite happening that way for me today. So I don't know, maybe it's filming it is good luck. Maybe that's what I should have done a long time ago. I have no idea. But so I probably will just cut this off after I get killed instead of going on about it, because I feel like I've had to basically say everything I wanted to say about the game while I'm trying to play the game. But so anyway, but we'll see how far we can go. I predict probably a couple more levels, and then I'm toast. But that's generally how it usually goes with me in this game. But anyway, yeah, this is a game that Galaga is a game that you can still to this day. You know, you can find it in various arcades. The last time I actually saw it in the wild, so to speak, was up at my oh gosh, what was it? We had a laundromat / tanning salon in town that had it. And that was the last place I ever played it in the wild, other than here, obviously. And it, so I mean, it's the type of game that people will, you know, from time to time, they will, you know, if they have an arcade or whatever, they still like to, they know it's popular, and A lot of them just remember this game, you know. So this one, Pac-Man, stuff like that. And those are the type of games that you still find popular up there. If you're going to go back to the early '80s era of arcade, that's usually what you can expect to find. But yeah, the crap. You know, those are just something that's always going to be there. It seems like. And then if you go back to you know, and then when you get up into the '90s, you got your Street Fighters, your Mortal Kombats, your Daytona USA's, Cruising Worlds. Those are the type of games that just always pop up in the arcade if they've got a '90s machine in there, you know. Ah, crap. But yeah, and then like I said, but when you're going back to this era, Galaga is a good bet. Oh my God, I can't believe that was so stupid. He's doing so well there. Oh, and I just died. But anyway. So that was actually not bad. I'm fairly pleased with that. Oh my, $9.99. All I needed was one more shot. I could have shot one more and got 1,000. And another bad thing about this is not being a dedicated machine is putting in these are useless because it's just gonna forget it when I power it off. But anyway, so that's Galaga. One of the better arcade games out there, absolutely. If you find this ported, I will go ahead and say now that I think for the most part, most machines, most ports are going to be pretty faithful. And I don't know about maybe Atari. I think it was a ported. It's like Atari 2600. It's maybe not so, obviously not so good, but I mean it's okay. But for the most part, if you're getting up to the NES or anything higher than that, if you see this ported, I say pick it up because it's going to be fun. I've yet to play it on a system that I didn't enjoy it at least somewhat, you know. Obviously, I'm an arcadey. That doesn't even make sense, but there it is. I love arcades is what I'm trying to say. I'm a person, and so these are almost always going to be my favorite platform to play the game on. But anyway, so that's Galaga. I hope you enjoyed that. I didn't expect this to be so long, so expected this to be like a 7-minute video. It went 17, but that was fun. So anyway, I'm gonna go, and I think I've got a little better set up here now for these. So maybe the next few will be. I wouldn't expect any repeats of that if I play anything else, but maybe they won't be so. Comical in the fact that I get killed within 2 minutes when I show gameplay. 2 minutes. I wish it was 2 minutes, more like 2 seconds. But anyway, thanks again, guys. I hope everyone has a great day today. I hope everything's going well, and be on the lookout for another one of these pretty soon. Thank you.